Hello. My camera seems to have frozen, which is a rather unusual thing. Excuse me one moment, everyone. Okay. Hopefully that has sorted it out. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hope we're all doing well. Who have we got knocking about tonight? I can see Captain Jack's been in chat, and my wonderful wife is also sitting in chat as well. As you can see, it is just me tonight. Now, Dom said he couldn't unfortunately make it back in time tonight for the stream, so he said, "You don't mind doing it on my own?" That's fine. I will handle another a quick alone stream. It's not a problem. And yeah, I am moving again, which is good. um, so yeah, well, fairly light on the people watching tonight. I think there's just you two at the moment, so this is a bit weird. I'm talking to one of you who I could be talking to next door, and someone who's jumped on the stream. But hopefully, a couple of people turn up soon. I know, obviously, we had our premiere last week of the Apocalypse game, which has gone down rather well from what I can tell. It's had lots of really good positive comments on it and lots of good views on it. So thank you all of you who tuning in to rewatch this. I say just thanks very much for watching it. Me and Don were really pleased that you all enjoyed it, and very grateful that you all liked, watched, and commented. So thank you for that. Well, Jack, as you're there, what are you up to tonight? And Vicky, what are you doing tonight? I am finally going to finish these damn Terminators off, which I've been trying to do for a few days. I haven't quite got in the groove of actually putting models together for a little while, which is a bit weird because it's normally the bit I actually like the most. But I will persevere tonight to finish these last three off. I'm not sure how long I go tonight, but I'm going to try for an hour or so as usual. So that's the plan anyway. But yeah, what is everyone up to tonight? What are you guys working on? And I do have a painting challenge to give out as well, which I will obviously put up in Discord. And Vicky has put Angon up in Discord, so if you want to go and see that, go have a look at that. If you're not in Discord, I will. I'll tell you what else I'll quickly do. Let's get a little invite in there as well, just for anyone who might want to join our Discord. There we go. You're working on Dark Earth. Grabbed the new box set a few weeks ago, and that's cool. That sounds a good thing to be working on, my friend. I said, yeah, I've been contemplating on my next purchases myself. Actually, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do, but having put some of these Terminators together and just looking at them, I think there might be a new Legion Terminators about to head their way into the Templars. But yeah, I'll have to. I think my plan will be to paint these 5 up and then do another 5, and then get another 5 to make up 10 of the standard, and then I'll do the Assault Terminator as well, I think, because I really love these models. They are absolutely brilliant. Friend of Inquisitor, thank you for coming along as well. It's all right, better late than never, as they say. So cheers for coming in. It was good to chat to yourself and Jack the other week as well on our little Discord chat during the premiere. Thanks to Jack for the reminder. I probably should have done that as well. I've been a little bit off the off the pace today because my hair's a little bit dishevelled as well because I've just got in from a run as well about an hour ago, so I'm a little bit I've just been chilling and recovering a little bit from that. So because these poor old legs, they can't quite take the intensity nowadays. But we've got to keep going. Got to keep training. You've got my back. That is fantastic, Jack. I mean, if you could also replace my actual back, that would be great as well. I can tell you what. Sitting down as an IT engineer all day does not do good effects on your body sometimes, especially after several years. Yeah, it was a fun view to get my vindication live and witness. Well, I don't like to disappoint. We had lots of alternate endings recorded. No, I'm joking. Of course, we didn't. We weren't sure which one we were going to go with. So so no, but we have been chatting about doing sort of getting another one and also a different venue potentially, so we can have a slightly larger board just for playing around stuff. But I think I'm currently, as I think I said in the chat, I'm in the market for one of the another one of the battle boards, but I am looking specifically for the cityscape one, which I'm just going to keep an eye out for it. I'm not in any desperation for it. I'm going to see if something pops up. If the other option is I want to pick up a couple of the single squares of some of the old Forge ones, but budget-wise, they are rather expensive. So I think I'll have to wait and see on that one. That might be I don't know, a birthday present to myself next year or something. If I save up for it between now and then. So I really fancy the kind of inset, kind of I don't know if it's the landing pad or kind of like a bunker, which is kind of inset into the ground. Yeah, that's the one I would really like to get hold of, I think. Just because I just think it looks really cool, really. So, yeah. Mr. Inquisitor, I presume you're at work, by the way. So I've seen you're not working or anything, so I won't ask you. Fun thing though, since that video, I have seen like 4 other people on Facebook and Discord it's posting their Red Scorpion. That's good. Part of me does want to do a bit more for the Red Scorpions, but I don't know. I feel like I know there's a lot of third-party things out there that you can pick up for the shoulder pads and things like that, but I don't know. I just feel a bit. I feel a bit like I can't get hold of all the bits that I want to do the army justice. Luckily, I do still have a fair few left over because I bought an absolute ton of them before they went off sale. I mean, I say a ton, but considering that every shoulder I was using 2 of them on, it's like, well, what are you going to do? But I will come up with a solution. If I can find someone who does a decent comparison to it, I'll probably will look at it doing it. But because a lot of that army has it's no longer kind of viable in standard play, I'll have to come up with a different direction for it, which is not exactly the way I was sort of planning on doing it. But there we go. You can't have everything. Sometimes you've got to go with what you can get hold of. So that's basically what I'll end up doing probably. I've got there's plenty of third-party bits for people out there, so maybe someone does something pretty good, because I had to do something similar for my Night Lords, some of the cataphracti shoulders and stuff like that, because you haven't seen them because I haven't painted them, but I have actually found some that fitted on those just to make them look the part, basically. So yeah, I'll definitely think about doing a bit more to them. I mean, use them in a pocket, no problem at all. Absolutely loved fielding them out there again. So I'll definitely ponder about getting back on with them at some point, because I do miss painting them as well. Actually, they were quite an enjoyable paint scheme. So yeah, definitely one to have a little think about. Oh god, the nozzle has clogged again, and I am not going to try and unblock it right now. I'm not doing delicate bits right now, so I think I can probably just about get away without using it. And you are at work. Fair enough, mate. Well, hi, Rules Lawyer. How you doing, man? Good to see you. And thanks for popping on chat the other week. It was good to have a little conversation with you. Up to computer updates. Yeah, well, I expect. Yeah, I do a lot of computer updates for a living, so I know how that feels. Oh Christ! I'll tell you. I mean, oh yeah, I've got this. So obviously, here's one of the new Terminator models. I mean, there we go. I think these look great. So yeah, I think they look fantastic in the comparison to the old ones. I'm looking forward to getting a good few of these together now, and then I'll probably, so when I do the assault terminators, I'm probably going to have to raid my my old ones for their shields, because those shields are just fantastic. The old the Black Templar shields, they look great on them. So, and also I think with the size increase, they'll look even better. Yeah, quite. The Assault Terminator update would be good. I know it'll eventually happen, but they might. But to be honest, maybe they'll change it. Well, I suppose they can't really change them because they're kind of a set thing now, aren't they? Because they are in the new codex, so I suspect they'll be very similar. But yeah, I'll have to definitely keep an eye on them, because I do want to get them when they come out. But I'll concentrate on the normal terminators. So I'm going to do 10 of the normals first, I think, get them painted up, and then that'll be a good stepping off point, hopefully, to get the next set out. Because the other thing I'm looking forward to with these is the painting of them. I think will be a bit easier than the old models, because they are slightly they're slightly larger, so I think they'll be easy to get brushes into, from what I can tell so far. So yeah. Yeah, and also speaking of the pockets, yeah, over there, believe it or not, me and Vicky only managed to finish tidying up the other half of the board that I'd left up for almost 2 weeks yesterday. So I finally got that done, because it was taking up half the living room still. So it's now all packed away, ready for hopefully for next time when we get around to doing the next one. Hopefully it won't be so long this time, and hopefully we'll have come up with maybe get some other people involved for a slightly more wider scoped one, a wider scoped one. Maybe get some different armies involved on it. But yeah, as I said, it was really cool for you guys to watch it through with us live. Really enjoyed just sort of sitting there and chatting about it as it was going out for the first time. And I was very happy I filmed it in 4K as well, because watching it after it kind of released back on that level of detail, it was really nice just to see that. I've got some new filming ideas to try and get some. We always say it, we'd love to get more action shots into the game, but obviously it's not as easy as just saying just put some more action shots in, because the time taken to film it increases. So that is always a factor that we're against, and I cannot find this number on the sprue anywhere, and it's starting to annoy me. I'm pretty sure I can use any of these. These are just like the little hip pads for the Terminators. I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually matter which one I'm using, but I'm a bit of a stickler for making sure I've got the right number, because I've been burnt before, as I'm sure we all have, when we go, oh, look, part looks the same, and you stick it all together, and suddenly, there was a reason I had to use number 32. Because it has a slightly different angle. There it is. And you see, there was a reason, because it's got a purity seal on it. But yeah, so any of the Chaos people here got the new codex and sort of been having a look at it? I don't know if just trying to recall if anyone's playing 40 sort of 40k Chaos at the moment anyway. Obviously Vicky plays it, but we haven't. She's obviously playing mainly World Eaters at the moment, so we haven't quite got around to buying the full decks for a Black Legion. But we shall get it soon. There we go. No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I know you've been more on your 30k stuff, which is fair enough. Obviously, oh, okay, Jack. I will definitely hit you up on that. I could, yeah. I mean, if you're printing them and stuff like that, maybe we could even I could send you one of the originals to have a look at if you want. And I'll have a because the Scorpion stuff is that went off quite a while ago. Now it must be pushing a year, or no, it must be more than that. It must be 2-3 years ago now. I think that they've been them off now. I use sculpted Pharaoh Inquisitor. So actually, to be fair, I don't just use sculpted because I also I'll see if I've got them over here. One second, guys, because I don't know. Even if I mean, you guys are probably aware of this, but a long time ago, Forge World used to do these absolutely fantastic brass etchings. So like this. This is a Black Templar one, which I've decently worked my way through. But again, I bought a few of these, so I kind of saved them for special things that I'm doing, which I'm fast running out of, sadly. So yeah, there's a couple more. These are all Templar ones that I've got left over. And then I think this is the yes. Now this was actually a third party Red Scorpion one because I couldn't get any more of the. You probably can't see these very well. I'll just see if I can get a. There we go. Because these are great for vehicles. I haven't tried the mini ones on shoulders yet because, unfortunately, because of the way the Red Scorpion one was, it was obviously that nice circular kind of that you had the shoulder pad, then the kind of recessed circle with the Scorpion in the middle of it. So I've got a few of them left though, so I can probably do a few more squads up with the ones I've got left over, and I think I've got bizarrely I've got I think 3 of the Cullen in Terminator form because there was an absolute mess up on an order I did a long while ago for an order I did for them because I had ordered 4 packs of shoulder pads and 1 Cullen, and they ended up sending me the pack of shoulder pads and then the rest. The box has obviously been labelled as shoulder pads, but they had Cullen inside them. So I sent Forge an email and they sent me back the full order again with all the shoulder pads instead, which was quite nice of them, to be honest. And that's one reason I've got a lot of them knocking about still. But yeah, that was back when they were just sort of, I think, wrapping up the sale and production of them. So yeah, I wanted to buy quite a few of them, even though they were quite expensive at the time for what they were. The problem is they just look very good, quite frankly. It was the same I did with the old Templar kits. I had a few of them. However, I think I did confirm the other week on stream that unfortunately the Terminator shoulder pads that come in the old kit do not fit on new Terminators because they are too small by a fraction, but not moddable too small. Because I have done the bit where I've shaved out or widened the kind of pad a bit, but it was just it would be too close. What we got here? I am going to get more into 10E when I start my campaign this summer, and then I'm back into Kill Team, which I haven't played. That's fair enough. Cool. No. Kill Team was something that we've tried to get into a couple of times, but it never quite kind of sticks into a regular thing. I don't mind it. It's a pretty cool thing. I just think when I'm playing, I've only really played 40k based ones, so as in standard Warhammer 40k. I was looking around Etsy and not seeing something close enough. No, this is the thing, you see, especially when you've got. I think the issue I have is that when I've started doing an army in a particular way, I really hate changing kind of the style of it, even if it's really small details, because it just looks weird sometimes when you've got a certain set across when you spend a lot of time doing a particular way, especially on this army, because this was one of the armies I was using as kind of like a well-paced kind of showcase army that I was painting. I had a plan to do an entire board at one point to sort of have like a display board for them and things like that, but I didn't quite finish that off. I mean, to be fair, could still do it. Maybe that's what I should do to get back into it. Because I was pondering about like a parade board or something, just as a because the army itself wasn't huge, so I figured I could do quite a nice. I think I could get away with doing a square and have the whole thing on it, and I think it would come out quite nicely. So it's definitely something I'll think about. What we got here? Rules like I was actually thinking about adding some more kill teams and was thinking about Red Scorpions. But cool. Yeah, they're both really. I think in the kind of scape of what 40k is, they're both quite striking armies. I still think Black Templars are equally as cool. I mean, Red Scorpions have got that lovely that kind of yellow and grey really makes them. I think they're very good. That's one of the reasons I picked them from the kind of Bad War campaign book. Because that's what I was looking for, something with a bit of history in it, and and I think they had obviously been in other books. They had, ironically, the reason I chose them is because they had a pretty good following on Forge World of stuff that was still in print at the time, but all those years ago. And I thought, oh, this will probably be good because they'll keep, you know, they brought out that little hero pack with 2 heroes not too long ago. Then they kept bringing out versions of Cullen every now and then. So I thought, oh yeah, no way, this army's going to go anywhere. I was very wrong. But yeah, that's fine. Yes, as a hobbyist, you expect these things sometimes. It's just the way it rolls. And the other so the other thing that I'm quite looking forward to at the moment is obviously the trailer for Space Marine 2 drop, well, a new one for the modes and co-op and stuff. Must admit, I'm very much looking forward to giving that a go. That aged about as well as Cullen did. And yeah, the Forge Range has been gutted, and it was some of the best space. Yeah, it was, and I think, which I'll come back onto Space Marine 2 in a minute, but I think they've kind of gone that direction more and more last couple of years. It's just, I think they've been just trimming what they would call the fat, but they're focusing it more. I think they're focusing more on the 30k stuff, and kind of weaving that more into what they're doing with Forge, well, professional models, whatever they call them nowadays, professional kits, I think is the word. At least the new Black Templars came out at about that time. Yeah. I would. I think Templars are here to stay, which is good. I don't think they're going to get rid of them. They had a good release, I think, previously. A lot of good hype behind them. And Jack says, "Wonder if they have the same launch issues as Space." Captain Jack, I ultimately, with a year's delay, because obviously this was supposed to come out in September last year. I'm hoping that the delay was there to fix problems that they knew they had. I mean, it will never be that smooth. Anything with online on it, don't care what anyone says, they can prepare for it as well as they want, but they always have some form of problem on release day, whether it be server capacity issues. We look at the Helldivers that came out recently, that got absolutely swamped. In the first couple of weeks, and that took a while to sort of settle down. But I think now that they've announced that there's no microtransactions in the game, which is fantastic, and all the DLC is only going to be cosmetic based, that's fantastic. Well happy with that, because it just means that they're listening to people's kind of outcry of, look, we don't want to have to pay day one DLC for actual content. Templars aren't going anywhere. If I had to pick a chapter to replace as poster, yeah, I mean, I think Templars are a different type of poster boy for the Imperium. I think they're almost like the polar opposite to what Ultramarines are, because obviously the Ultramarines are all about codex by the book and all this kind of essentially adopting that kind of phase. And I think Templars had that a little bit more, I'm not going to say edginess, but they're a bit more fervent and in your face. And I think they're more risk takers. I think they like to take a good. Yeah, I think that's the impression I get anyway. I think they've got that kind of, they believe that their faith will push them through any problem. Now I need number 49. Come on, where are you? There it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that UMR by the book. Templars are the chapter professing everything that yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's a good kind of opposite to have, because it gives especially people that want to collect a slightly different army with, but have that kind of instilled kind of feel of the Imperial. I think that's a good balance to have, because you don't have to be that kind of by the book kind of thing. But at the end of the day, much as people rag on the Ultramarines, I have to say that they're still a pretty cool army from that particular respect, because they've been doing it that way for a long time. And they still they even control massive sectors of space properly and take care of it. So that's why Gilliman's back. Now, obviously, Dawn would be another fantastic person to come back. Obviously, there's a lot of hearsaying and rumour about his well-being. Basically, all that's left is kind of hand, glove. I mean, but if the Lion can come back, I think any Primarch can come back. Even in some weird way, I wonder if Sanguinius in some weird way could somehow make a return from the other side. You never know, and then that would also open the door for Horus. But let's leave that there. I bloody hope not. I'm just saying anything's possible. I mean, they will, you know. I think Games Workshop have definitely proven that they're willing to push as many boundaries of the believable or you know thing to sell models, but also to kind of Legion of the Damned. Yes, I would love Vulcan to come back as well. I think Vulcan is a very cool Primarch. But ultimately, bringing a Primarch back for any army is a really good seller for them because it's most people that collect a chapter. That's the one model that I think a lot of them would love to see come back as a Primarch. But I suppose I think the one issue of Primarchs is that on tabletop they're never as great as they are from the lore. And there's a reason. Obviously, making them that brilliant would be. I just think I find it. I find about amusing about Primarchs inside like a 2,000 point game is that I think technically if the Primarch was at their maximum power or whatever, they could take on a 2,000 point army of Space Marines. It would be very tough, but they could do it. I think that's where I get that little problem in my head is that they're supposed to be these very, very powerful kind of leaders of Space Marines, and they're bigger than Space. They're more powerful, Yeah, nothing is as strong as they are in lore. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I agree. Space Marines are the same. You can say exactly the same about Space Marines. Yeah, they're when you read the books, they're especially if they're playing guardsmen, they just punching through people. Vulcan Corax can't. Yeah, do you know what rules are? If I was to pick the outliers, Sanguinius and Ferris would be the two that I think are the most unlikely, but I would never rule it out. Ferris is. If they brought Ferris back somehow, I don't even know how that would even work. It's like, oh, we sewed your head back on. So do you want to get back up now? Is that all right? Oh. And for those who haven't obviously read or listened to the last part of the death end of the death, obviously Sanguinius, exactly like his bear sculpt precisely. Yeah, there's a lot of flaws in this one. Yeah, but Sanguinius did not have a happy ending. So Fabius is Fabius. If anyone could do it, Fabius could, but it would not be the original thing. I'm reading Brothers of the Snake at the start. One single patient who's been a full member of the chapter for 1 year killed. Yeah, see this. Yeah, this is exactly it. So I completely understand that. And then when you take a Primarch, you have to then take that kind of observation and you have to times that by probably 20 times, and you get the Primarch. Because it's a very it's a very interesting way that this is all portrayed on tabletop. Because obviously, I think if you wanted to play Space Marines at the power level that they would be, you'd have to downsize the army sizes for them quite a bit and make them more powerful, which would be the kind of direction. If you wanted to kind of relay that kind of powerfulness into the models, you'd have to basically say that you can only take this many Space Marines now, but they are 2 times as or 3 times as powerful, so they're very tough to kill, very hard to walk through. And which just won't happen because obviously that means less models being sold. So, but that's cool. It's fine. All right, I'll just where's the old? Let's find 52. Yeah, come on, where are you? There we are. 52 and 33. Yeah, precisely. That's exactly it for anyone, because you'd have to learn that would have to be the ratio. That would have to be reflecting their stats, and I think that's probably And custodes, precisely. Custodes are on a different level as well. Technically speaking, if people played most of the SM faction in lore-wise, they'd only have a squad or 2, which is very rare. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's the game is designed to be fun and collectible, so they have to do that balancing game with with how they work. So I get it. It's just it's just I just find it's just amusing when you actually think about it, and how it went in lore. You got single Marines taking on multiple squads of guardsmen or whatever, or lesser things with absolute ease, like a breath of wind going through a wheat field, or whatever. That's probably a bad way to put it, but excuse me. So yeah, I think that would be quite a seismic shift in the way the game was designed and played. So probably not going to happen, but it's just quite a fun thing to talk about. So yeah, quite, yeah, precisely, yeah, because you have to do it. If you do it for them, you've got to do it for all the other ones, But then I think you'd have to make Orc Boys not weak, but not as, I suppose, not as strong. I don't know how you do that though, because yeah, it just when you're balancing if you try and balance from lore, I think it's a much harder thing to do than just from a game, from a raw stats and gaming perspective. I think it's almost impossible to balance it from a lore perspective. Never know, maybe someone will have a go. Trying to think out. Yeah, I mean, Christ. Trying to think how big that orc army would be on the board. I think it would be highly intimidating to paint, and B, you wouldn't have enough space on the board. There's always that part of me that really wants to play like a huge, play against with, because I think that's one thing I haven't managed to do with my Templars actually, is do like a Hell's Reach kind of thing. Or something, a massive orc army versus some Templars. That would be really cool. That's a good example. Is Grimoldus's holdout in the chat in the cathedral? It was like not many Templars, but they were acting kind of like figureheads and bulwarks inside lots of guardsmen. So really strong, but make them slow, hard to hit, 6s to hit. But if they do, everything dies. Thing is with orcs, reading Rinswell, they acknowledge that the orcs are actually more resilient. And yes, there's lots of different variations of the lore as well. So maybe we should start a thing where we'll try and come up with some lore-based rules for armies, and then we can just test them out and see if we can make it work that way. But then people want certain factions to win because it's what they want, because they like them the best. So right, we've got here some shoulder pads. I loved Rinswell as well. Actually, that was a really good book. I actually read that one as well. That's how long ago it came out, when I was still reading regularly. Don't get me wrong, I still read. I just don't. I tend to listen to audiobooks now rather than actually reading books, which is really bizarre because I used to love sitting there reading books. But yeah, I mean, oddly enough, to be fair, but from a point of view of reading, I didn't really read before I played 40k. I didn't really read an awful lot of 40k books. I tended to read kind of more fantasy-based books. Yeah, I've actually, some of you may or may not, Raymond E. Feist's, The Magician, and that, the whole series that came after that, Serpent War Saga and all that. I loved reading those books. I've read them actually multiple times, and I would probably find myself going back and actually reading them at some point. But then, but if I go to Warhammer books that I've read as well, the Gotrek and Phoenix series, I really enjoyed that. Just for a bit of, it was just a good blast to go through. I'll stick it on the list. From what I've read, Rinswell, the Crimson Fists were high on my list of an army way back when. Yeah, I mean, I've got quite a cool picture up just behind me up there. That's the one of the cover art from one of the books up there from which I bought Vicky quite a while ago, because she collects. Well, she did collect Crimson Fist, Vicky, didn't you? You seem to have stopped now. I don't know. You seem to have gone much more chaosy recently. I'm very worried about you. Well, I agree. When D&D 5th edition dropped, people complained that Rangers were too underpowered because they wanted them to these Aragon type Rangers. Yeah, Oh well, that's a fair point. And I use Audible so I can do other stuff while taking in. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And also because in my previous job I used to drive about an hour to work. Well, an hour if you took both journeys in, it's an hour total, so 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. I used to love the fact that I could just stick an audio book on and listen to that in the car while I was driving along, getting stuck in traffic. It was the one thing that actually kept me sane. um, but yeah, I've got quite a varied taste in that kind of stuff. I like fantasy based books, and along with the obviously I've really enjoyed listening to all the Horus Heresy stuff, and some of the other kind of I love Gaunt's Ghost books as well. I've really enjoyed. Went back through them the other year actually. Really enjoyed just listening to them. So driving was how I listened to the first four. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much same deal. I think I bought the first. Oddly enough, I think I read Galaxy in Flames. I think or Horus Rising, whichever. I think it's the first one. Is Horus Rising. I read that. Read that from book, and then I gradually switched over to. And Dom actually got me quite a cool gift of. I think it was it Sons of Prospero, Dan Abnett's one. He got me a signed copy of that, which I've got sitting on one of my bookshelves, which is quite nice. But yeah, different world we live in after from like going back 10 years when I mean audio books were obviously they weren't unheard of, but they were fairly kind of new things, and I think a lot of people got into them much more than I don't know, maybe much more than people were anticipating. So I mean, I don't think it killed the book. I mean, I used to work for a book company. It definitely didn't kill the book because they're still going well. And they still sell well normal books because people do like to read books as well, and I think people still like to read the physical book over having it on a screen as well, which is another big factor. Because I still enjoy that. I'm maybe a bit old fashioned, and I know it's probably a generational thing which will gradually change. But I still quite having the feel of a book in my hand when I'm reading, not actually off a screen if I can avoid it. I mean, I think that also might be due partly because of my job. I spend almost all day on screen, reading from a screen and working from a screen. That yeah, takes of yeah. Well, I still have to do when you release these audiobooks for Tome of Fire trilogy. They might do. I suppose it depends on the popularity and if they can get the person to read it. That's the thing, isn't it? So it depends if it's worth the time to get someone to sit there and read an unabridged version of it. And oddly enough, Jack, yes, I still have the two fantastic audio dramas for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit from BBC in their original cassette box cases in my front room. Ironically, I actually bought that on Audible along with the unabridged version of Lord of the Rings as well. But I still love going back to the audio drama. Had some fantastic voice actors in that from the time, and it was very well done. I think it was a 13-hour rendition. So it's like 31-hour episodes or 40-minute episodes, something like that. Because obviously I think it was originally on must have been Radio 4, I think. But yeah, that's quite a cool one to listen to as well. Yeah, because it had a. Trying to remember who it was now. My brain's gone. It'll come back to me in a minute, and I will remember hopefully. If I can. Sorry, I'm trying to read numbers at the same time as doing it. It's multitasking. It's my biggest downfall. Yeah, I actually started getting that one, Friendly because he's because I listened to the original unabridged ones of those and I really like them, but I did pick up the Fellowship of the Ring with Andy Serkis a little while ago on my free audibles, and I really enjoyed listening to him to read it through. Be interesting to see what he does with obviously this new movie that's been commissioned to The Hunt for Gollum. Obviously they're bringing him back because you can't really have anyone else play him now. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. See if Peter Jackson can still wield out the magic. I don't know. We shall see. Right. Well, anyway, before I get waffling on too much, I better go through this next challenge for all of you guys. Um, excuse me. Yes, it was. So what we're going to be looking forward to this time, what we're going to do this time is it's probably something we've already done, but we felt we could come around to it because obviously had you guys do some bases. We've had some interpretations of models from our army collections to sort of get your interpretation, which is all very cool, and we enjoyed you doing that. What we're looking for this time though is we would like to see your attempts at some weathering effects. Now, I'm not going to say how much or little you need to do, because that's totally up to you guys. But you can put it on whatever model you want as well. It can be one large model, it can be several small models, it could even be the bases that you made if you haven't already weathered them. But yeah, weathering effects, and no restriction on weathering. Yeah, you choose the type of weathering you want to do, whether it's time, weather erosion, just being at the bottom of a, I don't know, a chaos spaceship where Angron's gone through. Jack likes this one. Yeah, so some weathering effects. And yeah, we'll so let me just check the dates actually, because I know we missed a week in doing this, so I just want to make sure I'm fair. So we're on 28th today. Also, the 25th of June then, I think, is a fair... Yeah, 25th of June. So you've got 4 weeks. It's going to make me do stuff. Well, that's a positive thing for any Neighbourhood Inquisitor. It's always good to do additional stuff. Definitely got to keep it up, and we like to throw little curveballs. And I'll come up with something different for next time. I'm gonna, I've been. It's actually much more difficult to come up with ideas than I thought sometimes. So I'll definitely try and come up with something, another interesting one for next month as well, as we're heading on into the summer months. Oh, interesting. I need to apply some basing on tracks. Yeah, there you go. And I think it might be beneficial, guys, if you are doing the weathering, maybe obviously depending on how you're going to do the weathering effects. If you're about to apply weathering to an already painted and clean model or something like that, maybe take a before shot and an after shot so we can see the difference. Which I will stipulate in the thing. It's not. I'm not going to basically say that if you didn't do that you can't enter. It's just if you are doing a model that was kind of cleanly painted and you'll want to weather it, it'd be cool to see what your effective weathering did from the original paint job. So if you can include a before and after shot on those types of attempts, that'll be grand. If you're just going straight into the weathering, don't worry about it. Just say you did it from scratch. It's absolutely fine. But it'd be quite cool to see. Oh, hello. I was talking to my buddy about Gasland stuff today. It's like the stars are aligning. Does it have to be? No, you can anything you want, Jack. Absolutely no restrictions on what you do it on. You knock yourself out on whatever you fancy doing, mate. 70-72. Yeah, no, I'm not going to put a restriction on it. Race for Terror. Oh, okay, has some great tutorials showcase weathering, mostly historicals and heresy, but some. That's all right. The nice thing about it, weathering, is you can apply it to pretty much any game system without any problems. So, but it's always good to get tips. I mean, I've painted most of my armies using tips from various places. I think my Red Scorpions came from a painted tutorial from Apathetic Fish, which I slightly adjusted to my liking. I think it was I did a slight change on his suggestion of grey. But very cool tutorial. Night Shift is another top channel for everything. Okay, a couple I haven't heard of. I might make a note of those. But then saying that, I don't, because I do stuff on YouTube, I don't tend to watch an awful lot of YouTube for 40k related stuff. I used to watch battle reports all the time, But yeah, I kind of stopped doing that once we started doing them, because I think when you film them, you have a different perspective on them. I think I don't mind watching the odd interesting one. Like I like watching large apocalypse based ones. I think Dom sent me one the other week actually, which was really cool to watch through for some ideas for our next one. So I don't tell I do watch them, but it's not probably at the same level as I used to. 70 and 72. That's good. So glad it sounds like everyone seems to be happy with that particular idea. So I will get that posted up shortly, and then we'll see what you guys come up with over the next 4 weeks. Right. Okay, guys. Well, I think I'm probably going to call it a night there, because my voice is starting to go, because I'm coughing and got a slightly sore throat now. So, yeah, thank you all very much for coming to watch me sit here and do some models, have a quick chat. We'll try and get some longer ones in at some point. Yeah, but yeah, I said I'll get the challenge up in Discord. If you know anyone else who wants to join in, don't forget we have a wonderful. I'll post the link in there one more time. It's an anytime link, so you can share that around people that might want to join Discord. Pop them in there, and we'll get them inducted into the members area. And so there. I don't want to do more work after true crime dramas or documentaries. But yeah, thanks everyone, and I will catch you next week hopefully. So yeah, enjoy your evenings everyone. See you soon. Bye bye.